There's been a lot of talk around Bitcoin mining and whether it's actually profitable right now to mine, whether smaller miners are capitulating right now, whether that's the reason we've been seeing price drop, whether they're sending their coins to exchanges, and that's why we're seeing these major inflows. A lot of FUD and conversation around Bitcoin mining and whether it remains profitable, if this is a good time to quit, if this is a good time to start. As usual, I bring on a guest who actually knows what the hell they're talking about because that person is not me. So today I have Peter Saddington joining, who you guys, I think, all fell in love with recently on one of our panels when he walked around his massive, I shouldn't say walked, when he glided around his entire mining and go-kart factory and rigs and showed us everything that he was doing and was really awesome. So I'm glad to have him back to talk all things mining. And then, of course, we're going to go into all the news and charts as usual. You don't want to miss it. Let's go.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? I am Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel. I don't know why I tell you that. Like, if you're here, you're literally like one of the 12 people who actually watches and subscribe. And I found a twist tie. So use a twist tie to try to manipulate the like button to your liking. If you could hit the unlike or the like, but you have to do it with a limp twist tie. Hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. It is Tuesday and markets remain as boring as ever, which is fine. I sort of alluded to this on Twitter. You know, I used to be one of those chart junkies, you guys know, all up in the charts all day long, checking everything. Now, I check in the morning when I wake up because I have to write a newsletter and I have to do a live stream. And I don't have a single altcoin chart even open as a tab on my computer. And I just never look again the rest of the day. And then I wake up the next morning, I go, oh, Bitcoin's the exact same price as yesterday. Glad I didn't waste even 30 extra seconds of my life trying to figure out what is going on there, because it's kind of a waste of time right now to do anything beyond just chill and wait for this bear market to be over, right? For macro to sort itself out and everything else. But as I said before, one of the big prevailing narratives has been miners and what they're doing. So I got one. I got a miner. Peter Saddington, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, brother, I am not in my Bitcoin mining facility in my go-kart factory. I'm hanging out in my other home. This is my garage today.
Well, it's awesome. I was saying to Peter right before this, this is not the topic of conversation, but like my favorite new activity in life is going on Peter's Twitter and watching his 9-year-old. He's 9 right now, you said? His 9-year-old race go-karts at like 60, 70 miles an hour. Apparently touring the world as a go-kart racer and will one day become a race car driver. That's correct?
Hopefully we'll see him on NASCAR, Indy, or F1. We'll see. 10 years will tell us the truth.
Man, that is absolutely crazy. This kid is flying around the track and seems to always be winning.
Yes, he's very good.
He does a lot of winning, like his dad, clearly, in life. So listen, let's talk Bitcoin mining, of course. We have the question of the stream, of course. Can Bitcoin mining still make a profit? Can it still be profitable? Just start there.
That is a great question. I think we need to take it from two vantage points. The first vantage point is whether you have built a strategically de-risked operation at scale. There's so much here to unpack here, Scott. So yeah. The question is do you have enough runway if you're Riot or Marathon or Bitfarms or Hut 8 or Hive, right? All these public mining companies. Have you created a strategy that allows you to get through the crypto winters? A lot of this strategy is based on, in my experience, historical experience of going through the ups and downs and the cycles of Bitcoin. We know that we have a really awesome run up right after a halving. And then we go through some downturn, and then we go through this interesting discovery period, and then we have a halving again, and it goes back up, and then it goes back down, and then we go through this interesting turmoil and a period of discovery. And the question is, again, number one, have they de-risked their long-term strategy? And what we're seeing, according to JP Morgan and Chase and a lot of these companies, is that Marathon Digital, Riot Digital, they are selling off more Bitcoin. According to the recent reports in May, they're selling off more Bitcoin than they earned. Now, this is a great piece for market FUD and saying, oh, the sky is falling, sell, and continue to create that capitulation and that narrative. However, I don't think, and this is option 2, I don't think it's the right thing to do. And we can get into that a little bit later. So the first thing I want to discuss is, have these companies created the right de-risking strategy for the future? Do they have enough funds in the background, or have they scaled too aggressively that now they're going to have to pull back and they're going to have all this infrastructure laying around and hope that the crypto winter ends and the Bitcoin price comes back up and they can start making profits? So that's my first thing, is, have these companies really created the right long-term strategy? Haven't they been in Bitcoin as long as you and I have? What's up?
Right. I mean, you would imagine that they get it, but I mean, I think we're seeing it across the industry, mining and otherwise, where people just believe that the music's never going to stop. Right. I mean, you see it everywhere.
Absolutely. And let's just jump into the second option, opportunity. I believe, and actually I created a behind the scenes video for my investors, because my investors are pinging me on DM, Slack, WhatsApp.
Are we
Telegram.
dead yet?
I know. It's like the sky is falling, Peter. What's going on? So I had to create the behind the scenes video. It's about 6 minutes long. I might end up showing it to you just for fun. But I was telling them that we are actually in the best period possible. I'm getting a little bit excited here, Scott, but we are in the best period possible to actually invest deeper in Bitcoin mining. Now, why is this the case? Well, we know back in February and March, for any of you Bitcoin miners out there, that a S19J Pro 104 terahash miner generally cost about $12,000 a pop. Oof, man, that was.
And I've seen they've gone as high as almost 20, depending on where you're buying them. Right.
Yes.
I mean, the peak last year's. Yeah.
And if I can have a moment of transparency, we bought millions during that time, millions of dollars of miners. Now, it hurts a little bit, but no one knows the future. What we now know is that now you can buy miners at three times less. So about 4,000, 4,500, 5,000 for the same miner. So what's the math there? The math is, I can get 3 times as many miners than I could 5-6 months ago, which means if you have great investment partners, if you have great investors who see the future and know that Bitcoin is a protocol, it's scaling ad infinitum, it's growing in adoption, we're kind of in this chasm. Maybe we should talk about that a little bit later. Is that now is the time to improve and increase your profitability. Actually, now is the best time to maximize profitability, because as we start mining up these Bitcoins at a third of the price, as it goes back up to 20, well, we're already around 20, 40, 69, maybe 100, it's going to be one of the best investments yet. So that's
the first time I ever bought a miner was maybe May of last year, right when China went offline. Everything crashed. I was like, well, I mean, not only am I mining exceptionally cheap Bitcoin, but I'm getting a rig super cheap, right? So listen, if you could even be a trader with rigs, of course, right? I mean, there's people who do that. They not only view the cheap Bitcoin they're mining, but you could have bought a rig at 8, sold it at 18, rinse and repeat on the way down. So it's basically, to me, mining is a way to dollar cost average with extra benefits.
100%. I would go even farther, that a mix of trading, long-term investing, and mining is probably one of the best ways to balance out your portfolio if you're in the crypto world. I find it novel and interesting, Scott, that there's so many people that are Bitcoin maxis, are all about, crypto, or all about some sort of shitcoin or altcoin or whatever, but none of them actually partake and participate in the genesis of it all, which is mining. I think mining unlocks so much information in your brain. It unlocks so much opportunity in saying, wow, not only am I just investing in these shit coins and maybe Bitcoin, but this mining thing really makes sense. There's an economic incentive. I should continue to support this. So that's one of my calls out to everyone out there listening. If you're not into Bitcoin mining or cryptocurrency mining, check it out. It'll broaden your horizons. It'll open up doors, and in most cases, it'll help you learn about more opportunities to increase your money.
Yeah, I also find it to be, I don't want to say necessarily emotional, but, like sort of psychological, but you feel like you're helping to secure the network, right? So you feel much more like you're actually a part of it, and you can speak from a position of understanding, or I don't want to say like superior, certainly, but like if you're mining, you're actually participating in the network. So you have this sort of fervor about it that I think other people don't necessarily.
I think that fervor comes from experience, though. And I was talking with an investor just a couple months ago about this, is that what mining does is, from his perspective, it does 2 things. It gets skin in the game. And number two, it balances out, just like you said, the FOMO and the emotionality of the market. When you have investments that are going up and down 50,000% every day, having a Bitcoin miner in the background tempers that FOMO, it tempers that emotionality, because this sucker, this miner sitting in my corner is consistently plodding along. It's consistently earning these a little bit of gains here and there. And so I think Bitcoin mining is a great way to balance out the emotionality and the psychology of the market for sure.
I think the people are asking over here, I assume your energy bill increases. Of course, if you're running 3 miners instead of 1, you have 3 times the electricity load. And one of the narratives, obviously, I think for certainly these larger miners, but also for smaller, is there does come this point, which is kind of right now, where you're spending more on electricity to mine Bitcoin, hence not profitable, right? You're not mining enough to cover it, but you were never selling your Bitcoin to cover your electric bill. So to me, that narrative doesn't really play. You never, unless you're selling it immediately to cover the cost, which I don't think anyone's really doing.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I have had more conversations with small independent miners that are really and seriously thinking about liquidating Bitcoin at particular points to grow their small mining facility to even larger. And I asked them, I said, well, why is that? Well, they say the infrastructure costs and a CapEx, OpEx, got to keep things afloat. I look at them, I say, can you find investor money? Can you find other ways to hodl that Bitcoin as long as possible? Because liquidating it at a 20 grand, 24 spot or a 30 grand is going to hurt when it's sitting back at 60 and 100. And so I think there are multiple ways to do this. We just have to be smart about it. On that note, for those who haven't gotten into mining, you don't have to go bite off the whole big, the big bus here. You don't have to go buy a $5,000, Bitcoin miner. There are a lot of retail miners. Yeah, they're alternative coins. But there are a lot of retail miners out there that can get you in the game for $300, $400, $500. Just test the waters, learn about the mining ecosystem, learn about how mining supports everything that you're investing in. It'll be a great education at a small price.
Yeah, I have a friend who loves the Bobcat and like mines HNT, and then exactly, and it got him into it, and then he became an Ethereum miner and slowly has started to mine everything. So I think that there are a lot of sort of ways to skin the cat and get into the industry.
I have a question, because at the beginning of this stream, you talked about Bitcoin sitting at I don't check the markets all the time. It's a little bit healthy for me. I'm in the same position as you. However, I have to ask, because you're the wolf of all streets. Where are we going? Because my technical analysis, if I look, let me craft a narrative here for a second. If I look back in 2013, the halving, and then the halving in 2016, and then all the way up to 2020, right? We see the pattern is so clear. And if I do my TA
cycle,
right, if I do my TA, we're looking at maybe a bear coming all the way to November-ish. And that November-ish could be about 13, 14, maybe 12, 9. So, brother, cast me a spell.
Well,
help me know.
I hate to say this time is different, and I hate to make predictions or you make me look stupid, but I will tell you that regardless of where the price goes, my thinking aligns, and a lot of reasons align very well with the idea of October, November sort of being the bottom. It works for the 4-year cycle. It's when we're going to see midterm elections in the United States. Hence, I don't think the Fed can continue to aggressively tighten and be hawkish, because then every politician will lose their job. And last time I checked, we have a lot of historical precedents. Every time there's been sort of a market downturn or tightening during an election year, shit rips in Q4. It's like a miserable first 3 quarters, and then October comes and they're trying to get those votes for a month. So I think that that's definitely true. The question is whether, I kind of agree. My thinking right now is that we just sort of range between the, high teens and mid 20s. So maybe that gets us right back down to those mid 17s at some point, so everybody can panic. I'm not convinced that we're going much lower, but I am definitely not convinced that we have a reason to go much higher right now. So
you recently tweeted, so I know you got a lot of followers out there. Use the word capitulation. Have we hit capitulation? Are the paper hands letting go now? I'm curious, because you're much deeper in this. I don't
know, man. There's a lot of optimism, right? It does still feel like there's a lot of optimism. I will say though, like certainly on the altcoin side, when Ethereum dropped well below 1,000. It seemed like there was a lot of panic, right? And the fear and greed index is still extreme fear for months at a time. I don't think necessarily everyone is capitulated, but I would say that there's a lot of hate for this market right now. Like my like Wall Street friends who are super into like finding a way in and stuff are saying that everyone around them is like, it's over. Crypto died. Like it was a cool, fun narrative and whatever. So I love to hear that shit. Right.
I find it fascinating that the Bitcoin is dead meme rises once again. And we see tweets that says Bitcoin has died 400 or 500 or 700 times or something like that. It seems to be a never ending story here. And so when it comes to let's get back to mining for a second. When it comes to mining really is one of the best ways to learn about cryptocurrency. It's one of the best ways to get deeper in the game, secure the blockchain, and have even more skin in the game. When it comes to is Bitcoin mining profitable? I told you right before the stream as we were getting into it, the answer is yes. Absolutely yes. It's a great hedge against inflation. It's a great way to get more exposure into the Bitcoin ecosystem. And frankly, it's not a huge cost to any of the independent individuals out there that are willing to try. So I always say mine Bitcoin, secure the blockchain. In the future, when it becomes even more valuable, which it will, you might be pretty happy that you mined that 0.7 Bitcoin over a couple of years.
Somebody asked, I saw a question said, now I got to go back and find it. Here you go. How large of a setup is needed to mine at least one Bitcoin in 1 to 2 years?
Oof. That's really a hard question.
It changes.
It changes based on the hash rate, participation rates, infrastructure costs, electricity costs, right? There's a lot of, I'll tell for those that are out there that are interested in getting into Bitcoin mining beyond just a couple, there's a lot of variables that you have to consider, right? Electricity, space, cooling, your internet, your infrastructure, as well as the surrounding costs of rent, right? And these types of things. And so you have to take into a consideration a lot of these. The most important is the expense of electricity. Now, I've seen some really awesome people who have used Bitcoin miners to heat their homes during the winter. I don't know if I'd suggest this because my wife would kill me if I had these Bitcoin miners running downstairs heating the whole thing because it's loud as hell. But that can be one way to save a little bit and shave the dollar a little bit there.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So like, what is the best way for someone who just wants to touch? I mean, you talked about sort of these alternative smaller miners, but is there any way, if someone's got more than a couple $100 a month to get into it, 10, 20 grand, something that they can do this in an efficient way without, as you said, blowing up half of their house or something like that to make it happen?
Well, I would highly recommend the IoT miners out there. So for those who don't know, IoT is the Internet of Things. You brought up Bobcat, Helium. There's other IoT blockchains that are emerging and growing out there. And what's so great is these miners are 200, 300, 400, maybe $500 depending on the vendor and manufacturer. And what these allow you to do is set up your miner with not a lot of heat and not a lot of cost, and allow you to earn cryptocurrency just by supporting those particular blockchains. And what's so great about that is that they deploy, or rather they drop your money right into your cell phone or your mobile wallet, and you can immediately move that to an exchange or to cold storage or whatever you need. And so these small miners, these what I call retail miners at $200 to $500 a pop, are a great way to start. Now, I'm the type of guy, Scott, to go,
you go big.
Yeah. I was about to say balls deep, and I don't know if that was appropriate, but
balls deep is appropriate here. This is actually probably the best channel for comments about balls deep or strange sexual innuendo. We go hard with that here. Find yourself
a S19J Pro. They're about $4,000, $5,000. It'll be an expense, but you'll learn so much. And what I like about this is because it's more of a significant expense, it's a forcing function to fucking learn. Learn the daggone thing. Like, if you put $200 to a miner, trust me, I've been in the game of retail mining.
You're just going to plug it in and let it go. You're never going to look.
And then sometimes when it doesn't sync, you don't even care about it. It's $200. You're not, might not be earning for a month, right? Because it's not that heavy on your wallet. And so what's nice about buying something a little bit bigger, a little bit more expensive, is it's a forcing function to pay attention. Pay attention, learn this game, learn about mining, learn about what it's all about. And trust me, you'll be better for it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So guys, you can follow, it's Agile Peter, right? That's your Twitter name. You guys, we all love Peter here. Peter's going to become I feel Peter becoming a regular.
I'd love to help out.
No, but you have your energy is infectious. I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for giving us all of that perspective. And dude, if you call me if we're at 12,900 in like October, and I'll give you the Crystal Ball Award.
Bro, I will tell, and I don't mind saying this, maybe on your stream, myself, and let's just say a few others have some really significant buys at 12.9. Just saying.
Yeah, dude, I've got orders down there. You never know. Gotta,
You never know.
the best ones are the ones that fill in your sleep when you didn't expect it, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
gotta get ready for it. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, Peter. It's always a pleasure, and I'll be looking forward to those videos.
See you guys on the racetrack.
All right. Dude, I'm telling you, this kid rips. You got to watch the videos. It's absolutely amazing. I told Peter, I was like, it makes me kind of feel bad about my my parenting and my 7-year-old, because we are definitely not out there hitting 70 miles an hour on the track. We're just, I don't know, eating snacks and watching Bluey or something, right? Not quite as awesome. But yeah, guys, go follow Peter. He has an incredible mining facility. If you didn't see, go back and watch the live panel I did 3 or 4 weeks ago. You can just find the one that he had where he kind of went around and gave us a quick tour on wireless with his phone or internet. I think he was holding his laptop and trying to show us. It was kind of like that video of the Tesla factory where the drone flies through. It was really, really cool. So guys, check that out. Now, moving on, let's talk about everything else that's going on in crypto right now, because there seemingly is a lot. And most of the time, it's complete FUD and nonsense, right? Here we go. This was sort of the big story of the day, is Goldman Gary Gensler, everybody's favorite Goldman Gary Gensler. It looks like Mr. Burns. Excellent, right? People, I'll put this. This is what people are saying he said. People are saying that Gensler, in a rambling slew of comments, said that Bitcoin is the only commodity in the crypto space, triggering people left and right to freak out. Everything's a security, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I went back, I wrote about this in the newsletter. You can see it right here. I went back and watched it because I was like, man, that's pretty crazy. It's just not what he said. Not what he said at all. Right? Gary Gensler says Bitcoin is the only commodity. No, here's from my newsletter today. I wrote about it in the intro if you guys missed it. Newsletter's free. Just sign up. Many of these crypto financial assets have the key attributes of a security. I think we can all agree with that, by the way. So some of them are under the SEC. Some, like Bitcoin, and that's the only one I'm going to say because I'm not going to talk about any of these tokens, my predecessors and others have said they're a commodity. So what he said, it's not what he implied. This is what Jeff said. You read it. I watched it. What he said is Bitcoin's definitely a commodity. I'm not commenting on any of the others. And a bunch of other people said that some of these other ones are commodities and some of them are definitely securities. I think that that's actually pretty measured and reasonable view. A lot of crypto are securities. A lot of them are not. That's basically what he said. And he made the point, which is the safest point he could possibly make, is that Bitcoin is a commodity. So if you read that, Bitcoin is safe. It's not a security. And let's say, okay, but good luck with the others. You're on your own. Sure. I agree with that. I only read newsletters I pay for. I like the exclusivity back to paid newsletters, Scott. I'm going to consider you hope, my dear friend, collateral damage. So I'm sorry. Bye-bye. But I like you. But you don't have to read it. Words are hard. I know that's hard for some people to read words. So yeah, guys, that just stop panicking about dumb shit that people didn't actually say because you read into it too deeply. Bank of America says crypto winter concerns haven't frozen investor interest. Blockchain technology is the most significant evolution of software since the internet, the report said. Bank of America coming in hot with the hot takes, right? Also, I guess they're coming in cold because we have a picture here of frozen trees in the crypto winter. As they said, blockchain technology and the digital asset ecosystem are here to stay. And they're optimistic for mainstream digital asset adoption. They had 160 clients there, all trying to get their money into this crypto thing as fast as possible. But basically, what we're hearing from these institutions that are actually on the front lines with people who are interested in the space or already invested is that they are not seeing waning interest. In fact, they're seeing a lot of people go, wow, this shit seems cheap right now. Maybe it's time to get all up in here. I don't hate you. Dude, you're here right now. You don't need to read. I love my family. I love my wife dearly. There's no chance she reads the newsletter. Literally no chance she reads my newsletter, right? I'm her newsletter. I have vomit at the mouth, stupid facts all day long. The last thing she needs to do is read what I'm saying. And I love her dearly. So I don't hate you at all. We're good here. We're good here. Speaking of things that people didn't necessarily say, but are complete speculation, Robinhood shares spike on report FTX may be seeking to acquire it. Plans are still in the preliminary stages, according to a report from Bloomberg. SBF was like, bro, I didn't say that shit. SBF was like, yeah, I can't confirm that, whatever. But we do know that they bought a 7.6% stake in Robinhood recently. And we do know that seemingly SBF is trying to buy everything. Let's take a look at Hood stock, because I haven't looked at it. Apparently there's a big bump. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's a nice little bump off the lows. Yeah, shit was trading at 680. Why didn't y'all call me? But I will say right now that this is clearly at a key area of resistance where it is here, right? Around $10. We'll call it $10, right? That was the bottom, chopped around it. I always think if you're trying to get into Robinhood now and you're a technical trader, you're looking for a flip of 10. But man, I don't know. This seems like it would be a great thing for FTX to buy, but Vlad was like, nah, bro, man, nah, son, no, It's like, this is my thing. You ain't taking my thing. And so this is all conjecture at the moment. There's been no formal offer. I'm going to cough in the mic. And yeah, it's down 47% this year and 75% from the IPO. Kind of reminds me of a little company called Coinbase. Yeah. So listen, I don't think that you can trade on this or buy on it, but it would be interesting to see FTX eat the world, right? A lot of conjecture they're going to end up owning BlockFi, which we talked about yesterday. A lot of conjecture they're going to end up owning Voyager, which we kind of talked about yesterday. There's a lot going on here. It is how Musk buying Twitter rumor began. That's true. I cannot deny that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anywho. Huobi Global could cut over 30% workforce as China crackdown leads to fall in revenue. Yeah, well, so listen, we've talked about at length the hiring and firings going on at various exchanges, depending on where they are and how new they are and what their situation is in the marketplace. Seeing a lot of American companies obviously firing and seeing a lot of Asian companies hiring. Well, Huobi obviously is in Asia, but they're looking to maybe cut about 300 of their 1,000 workforce, apparently. But that's not really because of the crypto winter. It's because of the slow bleed of the China crackdown that they've been slowly having to deal with and react to, being pushed out of their biggest market. Actually kind of impressive that they're still alive if that's your biggest market, right? But so China's decision to ban crypto trading last year caused Huobi a sharp drop in revenue. Let's look at the Bitcoin chart. We didn't do that, right? I mean, nothing has changed. It's the most boring chart anywhere, right? Obviously, we had the major drop 2 weeks ago. Green candle last week that's showing a spinning top sort of indifference. And right now, guys, we are just chopping sideways above that 19,666, which was the all-time high from last year. Not last year, 2017, and below the 200 MA. But I did dare dig into the 4-hour chart today. I shared this in news as well. You can see Marge. I haven't erased her. She's still chilling there. You see Marge? You guys see her? This is actually, I just wanted to show you Marge. Marge looks super pissed. Like, I bet Marge, when I drew her, I'm an artist. I'm very artistic. I'm not. But when I drew her, I bet she didn't know that price would go low enough that we could give her like a Wilt Chamberlain-esque body that would make her like 17 feet tall, right? I mean, like, she's literally so tall to get down to the bottom of the chart, right? That's a fucked up body, bro. She looks like that big white puffy hero thing. Anyways, I mean, she's so tall. She's margin. That's funny. Margin call. That's funny. That's really funny. I like that. But yeah, we have a potential sort of inverse head and shoulders here. I say potential because don't be an asshole and try to trade on something that doesn't even exist. It's probably stupid and is a meme anyways, because you guys do that dumb shit when you see people talk about things on the internet. Don't do stuff because someone talked about it on the internet, because that makes you a dumbass. And we don't do dumbass here. Right? But for educational purposes, we have clearly a left shoulder here with a major spike in volume, a head with a major spike in volume, and now sort of a complex right shoulder, right? So, I mean, actually, you could, you know what? That's already technically broken out in theory. Although I don't think there's enough volume there on the break. I'm still keeping it here as a complex head and shoulders. Another shoulder. We want to see a volume spike like that to confirm, but that would take price based on the depth, depending on where it breaks out, to about 28,000, which is the lows of Marge's pearl necklace that Homer gave her. Did you guys ever see that episode where Homer gives Marge pearl necklace for her birthday? But yes, either way, this does look very bottomy. Everything looking bottomy on multiple time frames, to be quite frank. Thoughts on people? I see a lot of you asking me about Compass Mining. I'm a customer of Compass Mining, and I haven't read any of the FUD. I saw some mention that one of their facilities, they needed to like pay the electric bill or something. Whatever, man. We'll see. I can't comment on it enough, but we will tomorrow. I'll dig into it tomorrow. Dude, but that's, all I do is kind of just check it every few months and see if I've got some extra Bitcoin. I don't take it too seriously. I'm not doing like Peter said and like putting it up in my house and digging into it. I probably need to do that. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't see your question before. And like, you can see like there's so many things that I've learned in the past that like you report them as fact. And then like a day later, you find out that shit wasn't true at all. So like, I'm really trying not to share the stories, and I didn't even know about this one anyways, but the stories that are hype until I've actually dug in and done the research. There's nothing worse than finding out you reported some fake fucking news. It's inevitable and it happens, but man, it sucks. It sucks. So anyways, yeah, that's what we got there on Bitcoin. Oh, and I was inspired after having Carpe Noctem Josh on yesterday to take another look at the 4-hour cloud, because we were right at the bottom of it when we talked. Well, now price is in the 4-hour cloud, which means we should expect an edge-to-edge move of 24,613. Mashinsky and Alfred should fight. I would host that. I mean, I'm sure I get caught in some fake news, but I try not to. Yeah, into the cryptoverse dude thinks we won't hit all-time high for 2 to 3 years. You agree? I don't do. That's cool, but like, who knows, man? Maybe, sure, why not? Give us a lot of time to buy a lot more cheap ass Bitcoin. So here's an interesting story that I'm also having trouble figuring this out. CoinFLEX, obviously one of the exchanges that's halted withdrawals in the face of this Black Swan event that we've had called Shitty Market. Nobody saw it coming. Shitty Market. But we really do have this sort of cascading effects, obviously, of Luna and then Celsius and so on and so forth. CoinFLEX halting withdrawals amid the market declining and counterparty uncertainty. So the story here is very strange. I'm trying to get into it. In normal circumstances, we would auto-liquidate a position that runs low on equity at prices that are prior to the zero equity price. But apparently they have one mega massive whale who they don't want to liquidate, right? Because he's high integrity, right? So he has significant shareholdings in several unicorn private companies and a large portfolio. Bro, I have a whole unicorn farm outside. Nobody's like not liquidating me. I live on a unicorn farm. Yeah, well, so they don't want to liquidate. So what they're going to do, and I'm trying to really understand this, is they're just going to like print money, right? They're just going to, this coin, it's going to be called RVUSD, which sounds like some shit I caught in college from, I mean, I never, not me, but like that someone could, it sounds like an STD. RVUSD. Don't get that. Don't get the RVUSD. Anyways, they're going to print a whole bunch of it and offer 20% annual percentage interest on it, because we didn't learn the lesson about 20% annual interest yet. Don't give me the Revuzdi. Caught Revuzdi last week and I'm out for a month. I have to wear a mask because of RVUSD. Caught it. Yeah, so that's what they're going to do. They're going to, it appears, maybe I'm getting the story wrong. I'm only reading on CoinDesk, but they're going to basically print $47 million, and then they're going to give you 20% interest on it by doing God knows what, so that they don't have to liquidate their friend. Okay. Crypto. Not centralized at all. Crypto. It's fine. It's fine. We totally decentralize, total free market. You know, I've railed about how we're the last free market on earth. Bitcoin is the last free market on earth, but God, the platforms certainly are not. We break everything. Yeah. So wait, yeah, Leon Lett. I brought on Leon Lett. I didn't. Did you share a gift, dude? I don't see most people's responses, but yeah, Leon Lett, man, you can't spike the ball. You can't hold your hand out and celebrate your touchdown and then get little Don Beebe or whatever his name was coming through, knocking the ball out of your hand. Can't do that. Can't celebrate too early. HTC smartphone division limps on with Metaverse focused Desire 22 Pro. It's never good when somebody puts your name and limp in a headline together. It's not good. But yeah, apparently there's going to be the perfect companion to its Viva Flow VR headset that nobody's also ever heard of. Right? But yeah, so HTC, which is actually apparently a real company that exists in the world, is doing a Metaverse phone, which is going to be sweet. The HTC Desire 22 Pro, which also actually is a company that makes vibrators. HTC Desire 22 Pro. I desire 22. I'm in a mood today. Sorry. Yeah, but anyways, and you're going to be able to go on there and it's going to have, a Polygon and ETH wallet built in. That's cool. You're going to be able to interact with the Metaverse directly from your phone, which really isn't a thing yet. So it seems like they're ahead of the game. But yeah, they're limp and they've got Desire and there's 22. That's all I saw. But yeah, so this is, if you read the crypto media, this is like amazing new smartphone from incredible company. And then you go on The Verge, it's like limp dick HTC dying in the Metaverse. Can't get it up in the Metaverse. Takes the HTC Desire 22 Pro and catches RVUSD, right? I've heard of HTC. Of course, I've heard of HTC. It's a joke. It's a joke. I think that might be all the news today. All the news. That's all I got. Feels like there's more, but there isn't. That's it. It's the news. Got a few more minutes though here. So let's talk about stuff. What do you guys got going on today? Don fucking Beebe, you guys are talking about it. Let me see what you guys are talking about over here. Leon Lett, printing money solves everything. We know that. Never liquidate the unicorns. Have any one projects recently earned stock value with you as of recent, or are we still not touching this kind of combo? I mean, there's plenty of things. CoinFLEX might actually be an investor. I think I might have read that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of projects that are quietly building. It's not a meme when people say the best things are built in the bear market. I just haven't been diving that deeply in at the moment, so I can't really speak to that so much. Let's see what else you got. Family is great. Everyone is good. Thank you. Still trusting Voyager? That's a tough question. I'm forced to because, like everyone else, as I said before the other day, my massive withdrawal limit that I had dwindled down to 10,000. So I have a lot of coins on there, and at the moment, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to remove them. So I have to trust it. But no, I don't love that move. I don't like the move. I love these guys, and I think that they will pull out of it. I think that I really do believe that they know what they're doing and that they're competent and will figure it out. But I'm also not going to pretend that it feels great to have my withdrawal limit magically reduced, minimal response, and not much statement from the company. But I'm assuming they're getting their ducks in line before they do that. Have you been drawing down daily? I draw up. I don't know what that means. Good job on lighting and background. Looking a little more polished these days, sir. It doesn't help my face. Or this, the never-ending teenage, zit situation I have on my head. But yeah, I mean, I moved spaces. Figure this is less distracting. Got cool lights back there doing cool lighty things. I've got a big-ass light over here. Yeah. There you go. So what else we got? Nothing can help you. There's no helping of this face. It's unhelpable. Isn't DCAing just of a limp interest strategy? That works. Yeah, you got to be limp with your DCAs. Thank you for my. It's okay. I never got the Voyager debit card. I did not ever get one. I need a plant. Yeah, I need a plant. The thing is, I have the super zoom lens, so like the plant would be down there, and you would just see like two little weeds. Yeah, that's basically all I got, guys. Oh, now someone's in here spamming about recovery services. You're going in timeout, bro. Yeah. Later, dude. Anyways. Oh my God. Imagine Urban Meyer becoming the new boss of Voyager. I hate Urban Meyer so much. Anyways, but I do now have in my backyard a Florida Gator basketball court. That's not a joke. I have a half-court basketball court that is all branded Florida Gators because I'm an idiot. But it's fun. Kids like it. Anyway, guys, that's all I have got for you. Oh, as you can see down in the bottom, sponsored by Vauld. Read everything there automatically. Buy the dip. We got the thing growing. So check that out. Otherwise, guys, that is all that I have for you today. I will see you on the morrow. Peace.
That's dope.